Danya, where there's a strength there. You know, it's almost like a desire not to be too involved in too much. You just want to like kind of get yourself what you need to do and get yourself home. She has her girlfriends and she's really cool, but she also isn't into she doesn't want to do too much. She's not all about like the drama and the mess, you know. She's navigating high school. And if anybody remembers high school, that is hard. I mean, it's so hard to be in high school and figure out the different cliques and the folks and the people. But she starts to recognize that she feels these things that she didn't know why she's feeling them. She has a connection to other people that she doesn't actually know what's happening. So a lot of the beginning of the book is her figuring out she's getting these severe headaches. She doesn't know why. And she's really discovering something's changing within her, but she doesn't know what it is. We discovered that her mom doesn't live with them. She doesn't raise them. And so she has a lot of emotions about her mother. You notice that she's wondering kind of what happened. And she lives with her grandmother, which I think, you know, so many of us have been raised by our grandparents or definitely had a really close relationship with our grandparents. And so her grandmother really fills that feminine void that she has. And her grandmother is her mother's mother. And her grandmother knows things that, like all grandmothers, they don't tell. Don't you notice that grandmothers never tell what's actually going on, no matter what you say? Nana, please, how about this? How about this? And they won't really disclose. So the grandmother loves her so much, but really just wants to protect her. So as the book goes on and as you get into the graphic novel series, you'll find out about her mother, and she actually comes back. So you'll find out what is the story and what goes on. But in the beginning, there's a character named Runt who's going through a lot of emotional feelings. He's kind of a short guy. He wants to be a football player, but they won't let him on the team. You know, he's kind of fighting for what he deserves. And she realizes that she's connected to Runt in this way that she doesn't know why, because they're not really that close. At the end of the first chapter, her brother is racially profiled by some police officers, and they really, you know, they attack him. And she is so upset. She's so pissed off. She wants to protect her brother. How dare they bother him? He's a good guy. And she kind of finds this power in her that ends up holding this police officer up in the air. And when she lets go, he crashes down to the floor and he's hurt. And she's scared because she's like, whoa, what's happening? What is that? Did I do that? What's going on? And that's the beginning of her discovering this power that she has in her, that she has to figure out throughout the whole book. What is she going to do with it? What does it mean? How does she control it? And how can she use it in a way that helps people and helps herself? So it's deep. It goes into so many family issues and neighborhood situations and friends and family and the drama of being a 17-year-old with a superpower. So that's Lolo Wright.
That's Lolo Wright. You guys, you're going to love Lolo Wright. To all the booksellers, my colleagues out there, this book is a page turner. I love the graphic novel. It's the 10th anniversary of the release of the song Girl on Fire. What inspired you to turn it into a young adult graphic novel? Wow. What inspired that?
You know, Girl on Fire. Oh, this is the moment right here that I was talking about.
Yes.
And she's powerful, but she said, what happened?
She unleashes that power. She unleashes
a girl on fire. Okay,
yes.
You know, she is literally a girl on fire. But, you know, the song Girl on Fire has such a good memory for me, because I remember being in the studio and writing it. And I was really thinking about myself as a woman. I was thinking about my mother. I was thinking about one of my really close friends and just how much, you know, my mother sacrificed. And my close friend, you know, she's a single mother, and she was really like going through some difficult times. And sometimes you don't remember that you have all this power. You don't remember that you actually have this internal flame, and you feel, you know, pretty defeated. And I find that a lot of times when I'm writing songs that are, you know, like Superwoman or like a Woman's Worth, or songs that really talk about our experience as women, I find that it's because I'm needing to feel uplifted in some way, or I'm needing to like just give myself a little boost. And so this song was similar to that. And so the way that it came together was so natural and organic. And I remember that when I finished writing it and we dropped those heavy drums on it, I was in the bathroom, just listening through the wall, literally. And I was on the phone and I had a feeling that there was something so special about this. I was like, this is something crazy. And so fast forward and the song became what the song is and really touched people, and singing it at the top of their lungs. And really it is just a reminder of our power. So I was introduced to Andrew Weiner, and he had this really, really great idea to create a graphic novel out of Girl on Fire. And it felt so right because the song is such a powerful statement. And to be able to focus on a young woman of color in Brooklyn, really growing up and experiencing her life, you know, we need as many superheroes that look like us as possible. And so it felt like really incredible to be able to explore a deeper story behind a Girl on Fire. There are many of them, and Lolo Wright is one of them and gives you a glimpse into it. So it took about 7 years for us to kind of get to this place. It didn't, nothing, you know, happens just real fast. So, but it's perfect timing, and to be here is a beautiful accomplishment, and I'm proud of this graphic novel.
I am so proud of this. I don't know if you guys can see some of the images. That's just one of them. This girl, she's up there. She's empowered. Oh man, I just love Lolo Wright. Your main character, Lolo, has these superpowers as you shared, but the story is very realistic in its settings and situations. Why do you make that choice? As her superpowers is a metaphor, is her superpowers a metaphor for social activism?
You know, it's a metaphor for so many things. Yes, I think it's a metaphor for social activism. You know, she realizes that she has to really take on some of the darkest parts of her neighborhood. And, you know, it's not easy. She doesn't know why she's chosen either. I think a lot of us potentially struggle with that feeling.
Yeah, I can make this public.
Why have I been chosen to do this? I've seen my friends go down certain paths, and you're like, but why didn't I get caught up in all of the crazy dramas that, you know, so many of the people that you know do? And so I think this idea of also grappling with your what your destiny is and what you're meant to do is sometimes a lot. You know, you feel like, can you do it? Can you handle it? Can you handle the missions that have been given to you and a purpose that you have? And so she's experiencing that same thing, and she realizes that she can, but she has to go up against some really difficult, tough people, and she has to stand her ground as a young girl who's, you know, just kind of figuring out who she is in her own way. So I think it's a metaphor to social activism. I think it's a metaphor to really, you know, understanding the power that we all contain inside of ourselves, and that it is a unique power that we all do have the opportunity to harness. And yours is going to be different from mine, and yours is going to be different from hers. And, you know, it's okay. And I think there's something about that everydayness. That's why we really wanted to set it in Brooklyn. We really wanted it. When you read it, you know, besides the superpower part, it is a very everyday story that you will relate to. And I think that's supposed to ground us to know that our stories, you know, we are the power within our stories as well. So that was the reason why we wanted to ground it there, so you could really relate to it.
Thank you so much. And you're right. Anybody across the country can relate to a Lolo. Her situations, the conditions around her, the relationship with her grandparents, the relationship with her father, her brother. We can all relate to it and try to harness what we have in ourselves to deal with certain situations. So that is very powerful. What similarities are there between Lolo and yourself? How are you? And how are you?
We are definitely alike. Me and Lolo are a lot alike. We are fiery. You know, we definitely stand up for what we feel. We're not afraid to, you know, you might need to curse a person out here or there, and that's all right. You know, she's tough, but she's not over the top. That's another thing that's similar, I think, with her and I too. I know how to hold my ground. I have my strength, but I also know how to kind of read the situation and try to be patient and smart about how I want to interact with it. I find that she's a lot like that. I was very, very focused on her hair. I really wanted her to have braids. I wanted her to have twists. I wanted it to reflect the hair.
Can I move my hair?
Yes, the hair that we have, and it was very important to me. A lot of times I wear these kind of beads in my hair and things like that. You know, I wanted her to look like that. Even the way that she dressed. I'm a big jeans girl. You put me in some jeans and like a sweatshirt and I feel like right at home. You know, this is the New York energy that she's embodying. So I really wanted to bring that to life. So there's so much about